Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about the Never Ever Met Season 2 reunion.
I need you to subscribe, like, share, comment. No super thanks today, guys. I'm gonna take care of this one. This one is on me.
Okay.
All I ask in return is do not ask me about season 3. Don't come listen here. If you had a black mama, you be like, listen here, don't ask me about season 3. That you know how stern a black mama is. You ready to walk us through this episode?
I'm ready.
Let's go.
So we start with Alicia and Irvin. He feels like the whole time he was being gaslit in the house. She was supposed to be his happiness, but she wasn't. Alicia tells him too bad for him. She felt unsafe with his aggression, and it probably would have been better for her to say, don't yell at me. She made a mistake in her word choice. She should have let him leave the room when she told him she felt unsafe. Irvin apparently is with his ex. Alicia has not been dating because she wants the best of everything. She wants the best man.
What are your thoughts on like this first segment right here?
It just wasn't a fit for them. With Alicia, there's just a lot of gaslighting, defensiveness, and I hope she finds somebody who can work with her. So
here's the thing about it, right? Alicia is crazy. And Irvin, you're crazy too, right? This whole idea where you are with your ex and when you was in the house talking about my ex reached out and she commented on the picture and things like that. You already said too much, right? Listen here, you was doing so good, but you left me with a bad taste in my mouth near the end of your departure where you should have just left. I don't even understand why you chose to come back to the reunion because y'all ended on such a bad note and things of that nature. When it comes to Alicia, as Blair said, she's still defensive. She's still a gaslighter and things of that nature. And that probably can explain why she's not talking to somebody. She can say that, hey, I want the best of everything, but I'm sure that's what the guys are saying as well.
Right.
And that's why you're still by yourself.
So we move on to Clay and Tati. Clay expected to grow coming here, and he felt like he did. He thinks particular events got exaggerated, particularly the hug between him and his friend.
Okay.
In the never before seen footage, we see her leg was up, and everybody was pretty much just gassing the situation. Chris tells Clay that, Tati, she's a soft-spoken woman. You have to handle her with care. Clay apparently is seeing someone. He has a girlfriend, but he did not tell Tati that when he was talking to her the day before.
Wow. Here's the thing, Clay. You trying to move the goalpost with the whole I feel like the hug was over-exaggerated. Okay, let's say the hug was over-exaggerated. Cool. What about the secret baby? Like at the end of the day, you are still proven to be a liar.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, don't make this about the reason why we're not together is because y'all over exaggerated a hug. No, the reason why y'all not together is because you lied. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, and he lies about dumb stuff all the time. So I think even when Tati was saying that, look, he couldn't tell me if he was or wasn't in a relationship the day before.
Yeah.
He just wants to be able to move about in the way that he wants to and get what he wants without having to actually be honest and having a real, genuine relationship.
Facts.
So,
He's just a liar.
So we move on to Britney and Ty. Britney felt like Ty was crossing her boundaries. Before she even came here, she talked to him over the phone about what her boundaries were. Ty thought that she would cater to him the way that he was catering to her. She didn't want him kissing on her. Apparently, he slapped her on the booty so hard that her teeth clicked together. We learned that she did not set her boundaries in real life, and she was kind of going along to get along to keep the peace. She's learning that she probably needs to do better with that in all areas of her life. We learned that Jay and Britney didn't get along. She would pass her to go straight to Cinco, and she got really touchy when she was drinking a lot. Britney didn't click with Jay because she feels like Jay is rude. And Charlie says to, back up Britney, well, Jay, you did not speak to me. Cinco even apologized for you when we met you the first time. You didn't speak to us.
Well, here's the thing about Jay. I don't think the revelation that Britney is trying to tell us about Jay being rude, I think Jay walks around as if like she was the queen of the house, as if it's like, I'm part of the healthy couple and all of y'all are crazy, especially you, Britney, right? Now, when it come down to Britney with this whole boundary thing, Ty, I got to put some accountability on Ty. Ty, why would you even agree to those type of like rules? Like if this is supposed to be your girl, if this is someone that you're interested in, and I understand Ty talking about, I would think that, hey, if we never met, that we will be affectionate towards each other once we actually do meet. But if she said, hey, I don't want you touching on me. I don't want you kissing on me. I don't want you doing all these things to me and things like that. Why would you agree to even still be with this girl? Mm-hmm. Like, obviously, she was playing you. As I said from the jump, I don't think it had nothing to do with an ick. I think it had everything to do with she thinks she's a princess. She thinks she's supposed to be served and catered to. And she did not want to do anything to basically give back in the relationship. She's over here talking about, well, I did give you a foot massage, or like I did give you a massage, didn't I? Or like I did iron your clothes or something like that. And I'm just like, that's what happens when someone is not used to doing stuff for other people, because they take such the littlest things, such as ironing clothes, as look what I did for you. Right. Whole time he making you crab legs, lobster tails. He gotta go. He have to stop in the middle, whatever he's doing, to go get you a drink or make you a drink. He have to do all these extra things while he's supposed to be appreciative because you iron a shirt. Stop it. What is your thoughts, Blair?
Yeah, I think a lot of my answers are going to be the same for a lot of these people. It wasn't meant to be. Y'all weren't really in a position to meet each other all this time. When you did, it just wasn't going to work out. I think specifically when it comes to Jay and Britney, Ty and Britney, she gave him her expectations. He said that he would meet them, but when he got in person, he was expecting to have a real relationship and not just courting this girl nonstop. Like, yes, you want to court her. Yes, you want to let her know you're interested, but it's got to be some give and take. And she was literally just kind of letting him do everything, but knowing that she didn't really actually like this person.
Facts.
And then when it comes to Jay and Britney, I feel like both things can be true. I think that, the way that Jay talked about her relationship in comparison to others could probably be seen as putting other people's situations down. And even some of her facial reactions during the reunion was a bit much. Yeah. I mean, for you to be that reactive to other people's situations as though that they're the crazy people when you're on the same show as them.
Whole time.
And then with Britney, she was touching on Cinco and being a little too friendly with the guys, especially not doing that with her man, but she over here talking about boundaries. So I think a lot of things can be true at once.
You are right.
So we move on to this game, and they choose who they think was the peacemaker of the house. They chose Cinco. Who would you want to switch partners with and why? Chris wrote down Tati. And hitting on someone else's partner. Who did that after they left the house? Apparently Brandon has a crush on Charlie. Clay thinks that Chris was talking to Tati as well, just by the way that he's been looking at her, talking about her during the reunion. And Chris is like, you're looking at the back of my head, you really can't even see what I'm doing. But Alexis sees it too.
Here's the thing, right? Let's go back up to where the Tati and Chris thing. I do think there is something there because they both wrote each other's name down and things of that nature. When it comes down to Charlie and Brandon, I listen, I'm gonna be as frank as possible. Charlie, you have already shown yourself to be that type of girl. Unfortunately. And what is that type of girl? Am I saying like, is she like a whore or nothing? Like, no, you just come off as someone you just come off as someone that I should lie to. It just like, you are someone, and I understand that a lot of people feel like, Jared, you are the worst person and things of that nature, but don't forget she hid 3 human beings from this guy. Like she is obviously somebody who's with the games because she's playing them herself and things like that. I understand that in the comments in the last episode and things like that, a lot of people brought up postpartum and things of that nature. Guess what? She was lying about the kids that she already had before she had the newest one. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? And listen, it's not for me to talk about women's bodies and how they feel and their emotions. I only can talk about the actions. And the actions are, guess what? Both of y'all was lying. Both of y'all was playing each other. And Charlie, you come off as someone that I don't really have to show up as my best self. And that you will let me crack. You get what I'm saying? And that you would actually be down for the games and basically all the deception, because you are really not that much of a better person than Jared in the first place. So I see Brandon, which I don't understand why Brandon want to talk to somebody who's in a different state, but sure, I see Brandon basically like, oh, the homie hit it that easy? Oh, let me get a swing at that. That's how I view their relationship, to be honest.
For me, with Chris and Tati, they're both attractive people. Yeah. They're both single. If they end up getting a connection, that's fine. Why Clay is breathing down the back of his neck about it, I don't know, especially when he has a girlfriend. Clay needs to ease up. Whole time. Relax a little bit. So we move on to the final couples. We get to Sinko and Jay. And Jay basically were saying we got along because we weren't strangers. We actually talked to each other. We knew each other well before we got here. They are still seeing each other. He apparently came to Chicago, met her family, met her son, and they are still trying to work through some kinks in their relationship, which they don't tell us. And he's a good communicator. Cinco does have to leave early because he has the opportunity to potentially play ball overseas. So congrats to Cinco. Hopefully it worked out well for him. And Jay doesn't plan to visit if he does end up being overseas because she doesn't like long plane rides. And then the host also says, and also you got your son and stuff. Jay didn't say that. I mean, we can put words in her mouth and that might be a factor, which is very possible. But it does seem like kind of Jay that she doesn't want to bend in a lot of ways, you know? And he says that he would marry her if things continue to go how it's going.
Now, here's the thing about it. Jay is over here basically breaking her arm, patting herself on the back, right? Basically saying, well, the reason why it worked is because, you know, we actually talked to each other and we actually like each other and we actually got to get to know each other. Hey, guess what? You know, maybe it served us to sleep with each other on the first day. Like, you know, basically throwing little subliminal shots. And I understand. You feel like you are above these beneaths, right? Yeah. But let me tell you something. Everybody here is not in a relationship with each other. So they don't have to deal with the real problems that you and Jay is about to deal with, or you and Cinco rather are about to deal with. Now imagine if Jay was the type to be like, you know what? I will move with you to Atlanta. And whole time he had plans to play basketball overseas, and now she's stuck in Atlanta
by herself with no support. That would have been crazy.
And that's what I'm saying. So that's why I'm like, I understand she don't want to bend, but at the same time, she is the one that has the child. She is the one, and I'm not putting words in her mouth. As far as I know, the baby father is still alive. So I'm thinking you just can't take somebody's child and just move them across state lines and things like that. So that's why I'm like, when I hear him saying he have to leave early, and I understand that you over here trying to make your relationship seem all nice and, you know, the roses and things like that. He sends roses to me every Wednesday and things of that nature. But at the end of the day, y'all got a storm coming. And y'all got a big issue that y'all need to address. And the issue is where y'all going to live.
Exactly. Are y'all going to actually be together?
Exactly.
Like y'all are in a relationship, which is nice. And long distance is not a terrible thing. We even did long distance for a period of time. But you have to have a plan to get together.
And we wasn't even long distance for a year.
Yeah.
It was literally less than 6 months.
Yeah.
So like, go ahead. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, I'm just saying that, yeah, I think that you're right. There are some things that Jay should not bend on because that would have been wild for her to be in Atlanta by herself with her son and he's overseas. But I do think that if you guys are really going to make this thing work, then y'all got to get on the same page for
Facts.
Real, you know?
Like, don't be happy because y'all the best couple on the show. The show is over now.
Exactly. This is real life now.
Now you got real issues. And guess what? Chris and Tati can play around. Brandon and Charlie can play around. Jared can be around saying, you're my soulmate. And you could be like, and Britney could, guess what? Not talk to Ty, and everybody can go about their life. Now it seems like you're stuck. And now you're stuck. Hopefully it's a happy relationship. And so far you say it is, so I'm only going by your words. But I know real life have to happen. And if he got to go overseas, how is y'all going to survive the relationship? I would think that if he wants you to move, that, hey, bruh, make that commitment and commit to her and her son. And, you know, ask her to be your fiance. Ask her to be your wife and things like that. So y'all can get married. Since you already got to go overseas, it doesn't matter if you live in Atlanta.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like, Jay, I'm happy you won the show, but I hope you win at life with Cinco.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Or the next person.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be Cinco. So Alexis and Chris are up next. Chris doesn't want to be viewed as a piece of meat. He sent apparently some eggplant pics to her just because he wanted her to know that he wasn't lacking.
Okay.
Apparently there was some intimacy going on in the house. We weren't really clear on what type. But when they left the house, Alexis had to take some time to decompress and really think about everything that transpired. And they're not together anymore. They say it was mutual. Everything she did was apparently a trigger to him. And Alexis said that, you know, she'll pretty much let Tati take over from here.
Okay.
Clay asked Chris why he wanted to get with Tati from the game. Like, why did you write her name down earlier?
Clay, hush.
And Chris says, because she's beautiful, we have a lot in common, and I like her energy. And Jay says, it really doesn't matter because you have a girlfriend, which is very true. And the thing is, I'm with Chris. She's fine. I like her.
Yeah, she cool.
And if I want to get to know her, I can do that.
Yeah. What I would say to this is, Chris, you are talking out of both sides of your mouth. You can't say out your mouth, I don't want to be viewed as a piece of meat, while you over here sending dick pics and things of that nature to the girl that you are trying to prove that you're not lacking, and then try to act like it's a trigger that she treats you like a piece of meat. You never was serious about this girl. You was basically taunting her. You get what I'm saying? Also, they also was alluding that, hey, that they were getting some boom boom going on, but maybe not in the boom boom room, maybe in the bathroom, and maybe it was a different type of sex. You get what I'm saying? Like, you get what I'm saying? Yeah. Maybe some less respectable sex, I guess. But my thing is this, right? At the end of the day, Alexis, he was not serious about you, and you are too grown to be played by someone that's 10 years younger than you, and even more, talking about some, I don't know what he wants. No, you gave great advice to Charlie. You gave great advice to things of that nature when it came down to your self-esteem and things like that. And basically, he's not choosing you. So I don't understand why you didn't see from the get-go that, hey, Chris, he want to send you dick pics, but at the same time, don't touch, don't talk, and you trigger me.
Yeah.
Like, you should have seen the play from the jump.
So we move on to Kiki and Brandon. Brandon thinks he may have overreacted to her drinking. And Jay was saying, well, your waffle buddy was drinking just as much as, she was. Apparently, who was it? Brandon and Charlie was making waffles together. Brandon says he didn't really care because he wasn't with her at the time.
Okay.
Kiki wasn't ready to finish things with her ex, but she knew that it was time. And Brandon tells us he would have left his situation with Kiki if he would have known that she was still with her ex.
Facts.
It was a deal breaker for him. Kiki talks about how he's her best friend, and Alexis chimes in saying, well, I don't understand. We over here talk about best friends, but how do best friends keep secrets from each other?
Facts.
And Taronda makes it clear for her, she doesn't accept best friends who lie to her, but everybody else has to figure out their own relationships and what they will or won't accept. And that is the truth.
What is your thoughts?
Yeah, I think with the drinking thing, I think that Brandon probably was overdoing it a little bit. I also think that Kiki was at times maybe taking it a bit too far, and I don't think that she came in with the right attitude. For her to look at this as a vacation, and it probably is a vacation from your life, but you're actually here to do work and actually see if this could be something with this person. It's not necessarily a free-for-all. So I would have liked to have seen her actually step up to the plate a little bit more and taking the situation seriously. And the fact that she still can't really take full accountability with the whole ex situation and calling Brandon her best friend, maybe, she just needs some time to grow. Maybe that's all it is. And then with Brandon, I think he really did like her. But at the same time, if a girl flakes on you 4 times when you go to her city, I mean, what do they say? Suckers get licked?
Okay, sure.
I don't know. Like, that was your choice.
Here's my thing, right? I don't understand Brandon. I'm going to be frank with y'all because it's the last episode. I don't understand how you can like Kiki and then try to pivot and like Charlie. They are 2 different type of women when it comes to just appearance, right? Unless, as Blair said, you're trying to get an easy lick, right? You're trying to get a turn. Also, Kiki don't need to grow. She's grown. So guess what? At the end of the day, Kiki is what she is. She's a manipulator. She is someone who don't take accountability. She is someone who doesn't see her fault. She has no self-awareness and things like that. She's a liar. She's all these things. I can go with all these. I can describe her for 30 minutes straight of all the things that she has shown us on the show of who she is. And that's why I say I hope the real you outside of the cameras is better than what you showing yourself on the show. Because there's no way you're going to come on here and basically try to make it seem like, yeah, he was doing too much with the drinking. But whole time you chose to tell Brandon about you basically being with your fiance for basically the whole duration of their relationship, of you and Brandon's relationship, on basically the last day of basically your vacation. And that was on purpose. That was intentional. Because if Brandon would have known on day one, as Charlie and Jared shared their secrets and things of that nature, Brandon probably would have left. But no, you wanted to enjoy your whole time because there's no way that you could have stayed if Brandon left. So you are a manipulator, and I hope all is well with you in your real life. compared to how you showing yourself on this show.
So we move on to Charlie and Jared. Jared felt like he owed it to Charlie to try. He thought he could get over the secrets, but he couldn't. Also, good sex checks a lot of boxes that wouldn't normally be checked.
Facts.
So he thought sex could help the situation.
Yeah.
Charlie doesn't see where he actually tried. He actually lied to her the whole time. And he tells her, you did kind of hit me with a bigger bomb than the bomb that I hit you with.
Facts.
Charlie isn't asking a man for anything. She just wants someone to love her. And she shares that no, she wouldn't be able to take her kids to move to South Carolina. Even with the one child, she wouldn't be able to take that child out of state. Jared says, your count was going to be through the roof after this show. That was an unseen clip that he was talking to the guys that y'all going to get a lot of play.
Yeah.
He meant when he talked about soulmates is that he would like to keep her as a soul in his life.
I like.
I'm like, is this man a grim reaper collecting souls? Like, what is he talking about?
I like the words, Jared.
It sounds very evil to me. Charlie was trying to understand his thinking, and Jared said, if we can't be best friends, we can't be best friends. Pretty much just like, girl, get over it. Charlie plans to get the tattoo of Jared removed, and she thanks him for being honest. And he tells her, if you need anything, I'm here for you. And then that's where she's like, these are the mixed signals I'm talking about.
It's not mixed signals. If he's a liar and a manipulator, then you know what signal it is whenever he talks.
Exactly.
So like, it's not mixed.
it's the manipulation signal. It's the lying signal.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's where we end.
What is your thoughts on this scene and overall, Blair?
Jared and Charlie, like Alexis was saying, like, why you keep asking him questions? Because Charlie wants to understand where he's coming from. He's not going to tell you the truth. And if he does tell you the truth, you're not going to want to believe it. So at this point, I don't know why you haven't gotten the tattoo covered up, to be honest.
Exactly.
I think that she low-key was still trying to hold out hope, or maybe if he hit her up, then she would make herself available for him. I'm not going to lie. But overall, the show was stupid.
Yes, it is.
It entertained me for a while. The reunion did not.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And that was about it. We did not need a reunion for this.
I think we thought we needed a reunion until we saw it, and we was like, oh yeah, we don't need a reunion.
When I saw the preview, I was just like, why would they do this?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Here's how I feel. I don't care how many times y'all write and tell me to feel bad for Charlie. I cannot feel bad for Charlie at all. Charlie is someone, and I'm speaking from a guy perspective, Charlie is someone who you lie to because she wants you to. Like, nobody wants to be lied to. No, there are people out here that wants to be lied to. Like, Charlie over here talking about, I just want someone to love me and basically take care of me. I'm not worried about child support. I'm not worried about nobody take care of my children. I got the money. I take care of my kids. If you want someone to love you, why didn't you present you in totality?
Yeah.
Why did you present a fake you then? Like, so that's why I'm like, Charlie's not giving me mixed signals. I don't think she is someone that wants the truth and wants a real relationship. She is someone who goes out, she buy an Xbox without even meeting the person. She go get a tattoo and things of that nature, fall hard and things of that nature, while she get to live her free life, hide kids and things of that nature, and then wonder why, how come you don't want like me and my kids and things like that. All while she wanted to be serious with Jared, she can't leave the state that she's in. You deserve to be lied to. You deserve to be basically played with because you like to play the game. Charlie likes to play the game, but she just feeling like, oh, woe is me, because it was embarrassing. It was on TV and things like that. But truth be told, Charlie, she is going to play the game with somebody else, and we just going to hear like, oh, yeah, she got another kid, and she's doing this, and she's doing that. It just is what it is. Anything else?
That's it.
Listen here, don't ask me about season 3, y'all. I gave y'all season 2. Don't ask me about season 3, and if OWN knows anything, and if they know what's good for them, they would discontinue the show. Subscribe, like, share, comment, all the above. Thank y'all for watching. We see y'all next time.
Bye.